Hey, welcome to Grandpa Sees the Blinking. Please don't take anything Grandpa says as financial advice. Grandpa's not a financial planner. And if you would, please like, share, and subscribe. Tesla. Wild times in Tesla. That's what we got. Yeah, we got a death cross here on the 15-minute chart. Death cross in the 15-minute chart, same as the golden cross. We just got done getting $55 on a golden cross. That means the death cross can do the same thing. Uh, and I'm going to go through that with you here shortly. Okay, Tesla today from high to low was $9.41 from the high point to the low point. So pretty good movement in Tesla today. We had a high today of 264.98, a low of 255.57, and we closed at 259.52. Okay, let's get to this death cross. Okay, so the death cross hit up here. A death cross, first of all, is when Grandpa's got his blue dotted line is the 50 moving average, and the yellow dotted line going out here is the 200. When the 50 moves through the 200 from the top side going down, that's a death cross. And then when it comes back up through, it's considered a golden cross. And like I say, in the 15 minute, it can go anywhere from $7 to $50. And probably less than 7 if it feels like it from time to time. But currently we've got 255.50 on the bottom right here. And so far it's given us $7. However, this death cross is still in effect. It's still in effect. If it gives us another $20, will be at 235, and that's pertinent because we're looking for a new bottom pivot point. Last Friday, after the close at 8 o'clock, when somebody else in the world starts trading, and we can't trade, it doesn't even show up on our charts, but we got a new top pivot point last Friday night at 8:30. I watched it. I was watching it on my screens, but not on. It don't show on Thinkorswim. But anyway, they went up to 273.70. That is your new top pivot point on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time is when we hit it. So 10:25:24 at 8:30 p.m. we made a new top pivot point. Our previous bottom pivot point was at 212.11 just a few days back when we went down there and then shot straight to the moon. Okay, so but what I'm getting at is we're looking for a new bottom pivot point. And that's why that 235 is important, because this thing will zigzag around, but it will take and find us a new bottom pivot point. And I'm just speculating or calculating that could be possibly near the number. Could be, well, as we go through this, you'll see some other numbers that could potentially be. But we will make a new bottom pivot point. Okay. Dominant trend is still up. I recommend that you buy the dip. Okay. Now, I want to show you something in this dominant trend. In order to have the dominant trend, you have to have a buy signal in the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, which we have. Okay. However, if we have a red day tomorrow and it goes down to the 252 area that I believe it's going to probably do, we might get a red candle here. And if we do, that means we've lost the dominant trend. We're not going to know till probably around 3 o'clock tomorrow if we lose the dominant trend. And I don't believe it's going to be real long-lived if we do lose the dominant trend, because I think, but it is potentially possible that if we get down in that 250, 252 area, where I believe we're going to probably go tomorrow on the bottom side, that thing might just make us possibly a red candle in this daily, which would mean we've lost the dominant trend up. So but I just don't know. I don't know. All I do know for sure is we're still under a death cross that can easily take us to the 229, 235 area, if not lower. And that's all I know about that. Okay, let's see. Divergence. Oh, indexes. Oh man, indexes were up. NASDAQ was, the S&P was up just a little bit. Excuse me, haven't been well. The indexes are up, S&P a little bit. NASDAQ was up fair amount. Tesla was down, of course, underperformed in the red today. Divergence. And, if you listen to yesterday's live stream, I did a warning live stream this morning early. When I calculated the new top pivot point, and was sure of it, I did it, and because we were all long, and we sold out. Me and Grandma both sold out in just before 265. I was off $1.10 on the fair opening price. It never did hit Grandpa's fair opening price because they don't always do what's fair. So we bailed out and made money this morning, and I called Jeff because I knew he was long, and he bailed out too, and watched it drop straight down. That's what we did. Okay, so, and that was largely because of the huge divergence yesterday to the downside, which on falling prices they consider a good thing. But I'm telling you, it's not a good thing. And we got the same thing going on today. Divergence, volume fell by 25 million shares today on falling prices, which everybody considers to be a good thing. 78 million shares were only bought and sold in all, which is well below the average of Tesla. So we're getting back into the low volume thing. But Grandpa sees this as bearish, and that's part of the reason that I'm seeing that 252 coming up for tomorrow. Okay, so upside resistance. What do we got going on? We got resistance to the top side at $260.50. I'll be surprised if we can break through that tomorrow. By much. 272.50 to the top side, 280, and 315. Speaking of 315, I have seen them shorting the last day or so here into blinking up there at 315, just like they're crazy. And I'm going to talk a little more about that 315 area. I think you're going to see that within probably the next 90 days here. Without, well, it depends on who gets elected, possibly. Okay, downside support. On the downside, we have support at, of course, the 252 area, 243, 239, 230, 217, and look for that 234, 235 area. Look for that area. I think that might be close to our new bottom pivot point when we get down there. Coming up fairly quickly, possibly next week here, possibly this week, the way Tesla operates. Okay, the fair opening price for Wednesday, 10/30/24, and I will tell you that Grandpa calculates the fair opening price, what it should be, not what necessarily always happens. But even that being said, I'm usually right about 9 out of 10 times. But I was off today by a $1.10. But I had the direction right, at least, and made money off it. But anyway, 260. Fair opening price is 260. I think we're going to probably open up at that 260 area. And I think we're going to fall off right straight down to 252. That's my opinion. That's what I see. Over the next 2 weeks, a calculated range that you very likely are going to see in the next 14 days here. 229, 235 area on the bottom side, to 283, 283 on the top side, 285 area. Okay, Grandpa's opinion. Grandpa has a lot of opinions. Okay, lots of blinking to the upside in the last week. 363 was a huge number. They did that for weeks up there, and it's going to come in your future. I have no doubt of that. 315 in the last day or so here, all day long. I believe it's a very likely number that you're going to see within the next 60, 90 days here. If Trump wins the election, right now their odds makers are saying he's possibly going to win, and I think it's keeping us up somewhat, but nobody knows for sure. If we get a Trump win, I think you can look for 370 fairly quickly. If Harris wins, I think you can look for $70. Elon has commented that they may take his companies, lock him up. I think he's more than concerned. Okay, ARK Invest, Kathy Wood. 2-3 days ago, she sold 20 million shares. Everybody makes a big deal out of it. She sold 20 million shares at $260 several days ago, but Tesla is still their biggest holding, and they of anything else, with about 280 million shares left. She's just going to buy the dip at 235 area, or 230 or 229. Sorry about that. Okay, that's Grandpa's opinion, which he's gonna do. Let's see. Yeah, buy the dip. Everybody buy the dip. Uh, okay, okay. What am I? I can't even see my own stuff here. Um, okay, I think we're gonna, like I say, I think we're gonna likely drop to 252 for tomorrow. 250, 252 area. Um, and I think through the rest of the week, we're going to predominantly run in a 252 to 262 range throughout the week. It's possible we break out of it and dip down to make our new bottom pivot for a day, but I don't see that until possibly next week. Well, I'm going to look at my calendar here once. Let's see. Next Tuesday is the election. It's going to be scary. You know, I could see us, people being scared prior to the election. Monday might be our day that we dip down there. Just speculating. I can't hardly call that calculating. Because next Tuesday's the election, and it's not that we're going to probably know. We should know by the 6th, but the way our government functions, we'll be lucky if we know in a week. And the longer it drags out, the more fear it will create. The market just hates uncertainty. Yeah, the first part of next week, I'm expecting a possible drop off here with fear of the consequences if the election doesn't go Elon's way. That it would just be a disaster that I don't even care to talk about. Okay, hey, I watched my previous couple live streams, and a lot of good info in there. Grandpa can't cover it all in one shot here all the time, and be fun to see what this death cross does. Now that death cross in the 15-minute chart could run for all the way through the week and all into next week. That's not a 5-minute chart. That's a 15-minute chart. So it has far fewer golden crosses and death crosses, and when it gets one, they're usually much bigger. So think about eternity once in a while. Grandpa does. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Good luck.